Hi everyone, it's Bite Size CG, learn 3D by taking small bites. In this episode we're going to add more details to our X-Wing. So we're going to start with the wings. We're going to hide the body for now, and we're gonna hide the lower wings for now. We're gonna go to edit mode, and we're gonna start adding details. But first of all, as always, before you add details, you have to watch some references online. So if you just type in Google X-Wing or X-Wing top, we're going to see it's like different sides of the X-Wing, and we can check what details we can add. So for now, we're going to focus on the gun. We're going to select everything else and we're going to hide it. And we're going to add this first detail. What we're going to do, we're going to face select mode, but before that we're going to add an edge loop. So we're going to go to edge select mode, and we're going to add the whole row to make this effect like little holes inside. So we're going to select it, and what you can do now, but it will take a long time, is to deselect every other face, but that's gonna take way too much time and effort. We're gonna deselect everything. We're just gonna select everything again, and we have a shortcut for doing just that. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna go to this select area, and we're going to select Checker Deselect. So it deselects. It depends on how you set it. In this case, it deselects every other face. So what we're going to do now, we're going to extrude it, but instead of going outside, we're going to scale it inside just a bit. So we added this detail. If you go to object mode, you see it, we have it already. So we're going to go back to edit mode. We're going to select everything. We're going to get back our the whole meshes. We're going to select the gun and we're going to hide it for now. We're going to go to top view, and if we look at this reference, we have these red lines. We're going to add them, but we're going to add them as texture. And for doing that, we're just gonna add some more geometry to the mesh so that we can add it. There are a few ways you can do it. You can either make edge loops to make the wings, the lines. Here you have 5 lines, so we need 10 lines to make them, and some extra here. Or yeah, we can add edge loops, but that will add too much geometry to the overall mesh. Even though it's not really important for our purpose, it's better to have less geometry in your mesh, especially if you focus on game props. So another way to do it is using the knife tool, and just add a line, hold C to make it straight, and press enter. If you add a line using the knife tool, you just add the line on the top of the mesh. Don't add any extra here or underneath. And now you can use edge select mode. I mean, not edge select mode, loops. But if you add loops now, you see it doesn't add any more extra um, geometry unless we go a bit further. It goes underneath. So we're gonna go edge. Oh, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go and press Control R to add edge loops, and we're gonna scroll the wheel up to add 9 of them more because we have 1 already. Once you select it, you can move them freely, but you don't really need to move them now. You're going to select the other one too. If you go to top mode, now if you try to move them, you move the whole mesh. How you can move them around this part without moving the whole mesh? You can do that by pressing G for 2 times. It's like G, and you can move them now. And something like that. Just select this one, move it a bit back, and this one also, and move it a bit down. And now we're going to add this two more cuts here. So we're going to go use our knife tool again. We're gonna select knife. We're gonna go all the way here, and we're gonna press enter. And here you need not as the whole line. We're gonna go on like 3 or 4 lines. So we're gonna use knife tool once again. We're gonna go like something like this, and we're gonna press enter. And this is it for now for this part. We're not adding the textures now. Maybe in the next tutorial. Actually, in the next tutorial, we're gonna add more textures. We're gonna add more details to the engine here. If we look around the other references, you see we have the reference that it has something coming out on the line here. So first of all, we're going to extrude and scale it a bit, and we're going to extrude it inside until we hit the other mesh, and we're going to extrude and scale it a bit, and we're going to extrude it back here. So we're going to scale it, and it looks quite okay, I guess. So to add the other line here, you can add a new object, or you can make it like I do. So press and select these two faces. Yep. And you're going to inset them, and you're going to scale them on the X a bit. Move them on the okay, for now it's okay. So what you're gonna do now is just press the space bar, and you're going to select search, and in search you can type in bridge and select bridge edge loops. Now this function just joins together the faces that we have selected, and we can move them on the x-axis to bring them a bit forward, and we have this line. So if we check it here, this goes a bit beyond. We're gonna extrude it and make it a bit smaller and extrude it one more time. We're gonna add like this kind of detail. And in some references you can see you have a line going up also. You can add it going back to edit mode by adding two edge loops here and scaling them on the x-axis, going to limit selection view and search for those faces inside. If you just one face actually, so and you just extrude it on the z-axis, or go back and scale it on the y a bit more and extrude it up a bit down, so something like that. And if we go to object mode, now we have it done. Also, it's up to you how you tweak it. So what else we're going to add? We're going to add the, let's see, to show you on the reference, where are some good references. Just scroll around. You see we have some part here showing the engine and some more extrusion here. So we're going to go to edit mode, and we're going to select this face. We're going to inset it a bit, and we're just going to extrude it until you see the engine. Also, you can do the same here, inset and extrude it a bit. Here we're going to inset, scale it a bit, something like that. Scale. We use a reference image if you want to be more precise, so just extrude it a bit, and we're done. And the last thing we're gonna add to the wing is just this part that connects to the body. We're going to extrude it, scale it on the X, and scale it on the Z a bit, and we're going to extrude it, something like that. So now if we bring everything back, we have quite a lot of details on our wing. If you want to add more, just take your time, but it's enough for now. We're gonna bring everything back together. You see differences between this wing that we added details and the other wing. We're gonna select them and we're gonna hide it, and we're gonna focus now on the X-wing body. So we're gonna go to edit mode. This line actually we don't really need it, so a way to get rid of it, we're gonna go to edge select mode and we're gonna select it, and instead of deleting it, we're gonna just dissolve it, so it doesn't really affect the mesh. So dissolve, and now it's gone. We're gonna go to top view and just tweak it a bit. Wireframe mode. We're gonna select vertices, and we're gonna tweak them to the reference image. Everything that it's not quite right. So take this back. This vertices, just move them a bit back. This one here, move it a bit back here. Okay, now if we check it here, it's okay. So we're gonna need these two to go back here, and this two also a bit on the Y axis, and this one also. So now we're gonna go and select face select mode, and we're gonna add details to the windows of the X-wing. We're going to insert this wing, and we're going to extrude it a bit inside. We're gonna do the same with the other window, but first just go to vertex select mode, and we're gonna match them with these two. So move it on the Z, and now we can face select mode, and we're going to inset it. Go to vertex select mode and just tweak them so that they look pretty much like in the reference. So if we press face select mode, now we can extrude them a bit inside. We can do the same here, selecting this face and inset. Actually, it's better if you, instead of inset, because you add more geometry, you just extrude and scale it a bit. It doesn't add the whole geometry that you don't really need, so just extrude it inside a bit. And the last one, we're gonna select this one, we're gonna extrude it, scale it on the Y a bit, and scale it on the X a bit, and we're going to extrude it down. We go to solid mode. Now you see we have added quite a lot of extra details here. We're gonna select these faces, and actually, yeah, select like that. We're going to extrude, and we're going to scale it on the Z axis a bit. So, and scale it on the Y axis just a bit, something like that. We're going to add another edge loop here to match this line. Also, we're gonna do it by adding textures later. So we're gonna put it something like that. We're gonna select a few edges here, and we're going to make them straight. Go to front view, we're going to scale it on the Z, and now it's straight on the Z axis. Also, we're going to need some space for the wings, so we're going to extrude and scale it a bit, and we're going to extrude it inside a bit, and we're going to add more details here. We're going to inset this side and extrude it. It all depends on how many details you want. So we're going to add extrude and scale it here, scale it on the y-axis, and just extrude it a bit up. Too much, just a bit. And we're going to, oh, okay, this part. We're going to inset, not inset. You see, if we do inset, you add extra geometry here. That is kind of tricky. If you want to extrude it inside, you have like too much to tweak afterwards. To go back, it's easier to extrude and scale it a bit. Now you see you don't have the extra geometry, and you just extrude it inside, and you don't have that wall that we had here. So for the last thing, we're going to add our droid. If we look at the references, we're going to just add a simple droid. We're going to add a new mesh. We're going to add a UV sphere. We're going to go to edit mode, select vertices, select limit selection view, select visible, and we're going to just delete the bottom half. And we're going to take this loop, and we're going to extrude it on the z-axis just a bit, and we're going to scale it and position it. Go to wireframe mode and position it more or less where is the droid. So press front view and just bring it in view. So if we bring everything back together, Alt H, you see we don't really need these wings. We're going to delete them, and we're going to duplicate and rotate them holding Control. Oops. We're going to go to front view. We're going to duplicate Shift D, and we're going to rotate holding Control, and we're going to move them a bit down. This one also. So now we have our X-Wing with quite a lot of extra details. You can add more if you want, but it's gonna be enough for now. Actually, we're going to add a bit, just something here. We're going to add, if you see it here, it has a notch here, or as a hole. So we're going to select these three faces. We're going to extrude but scale it a bit. Actually, this is gonna be better with inset. So we can take this, or not, or we can just go top view and go to edge select mode, and we're gonna use the knife tool. We're gonna add a line here, A, holding C, press enter, and we're gonna add a line here. So A, hold C, select it. Now we're gonna select the faces, these two faces, and we're going to extrude them a bit inside. So if we go to object mode, now we have more details to our X-Wing. In the next tutorial, we're going to add materials, and after that, we're just gonna learn how to render it and make it stand out. We're going to add some background, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So see you guys in the next one. See ya.